At what age should you be allowed to drink? In my opinion, if you're old enough to head off to war and jump out of a troop transport, you're old enough to down a shot of liquid courage. But to many, 21 is still the way to go. In a new study, Andrew Plunk, assistant professor of pediatrics at Eastern Virginia Medical School, writes that before the 1984 National Minimum Drinking Age Act, how appropriately titled that act was, right?
That's a beautiful acronym, too.
States that allowed residents to drink at ages lower than 21 saw higher high school dropout rates, in addition to what's already been documented as other effects such as lower educational attainment, higher substance abuse, and more. According to Plunk, we saw a 3% increase in dropout rates in the whole sample. In already at-risk groups of dropping out of high school, like blacks and Hispanics, we saw a 4% increase. In today's numbers, with 3.3 million students expected to graduate this year, that means 99,000 more of them would drop out. But correlation does not imply causation. These states had a lower drinking age. They may have had dozens of other factors that led to high school dropout rates. Schools may have changed. Times may have changed. People may have changed. The real question should be, is it right? Are they adults or not? I say either lower the drinking age or don't let them vote till they're 21. Kennedy, isn't dancing the real problem?
Absolutely right. That is exactly right. And you know what dancing leads to? Drinking and fornication.
That's right.
And 6 babies.
It's in the documentary Footloose.
Which is, it's one of our finest programs. You're absolutely right. The documentary was so effective, they remade it, as you should do with effective documentaries. Now, I tend to agree with Glenn Reynolds on this. And if you are old enough to shoot, then you're old enough to take a shot. And even if this only applies to our men and women in uniform, they certainly should be allowed and able to drink alcohol at 18. You know, you're absolutely right. Otherwise, then, if you're going to enlist in the armed forces, you have to raise that age to 21 as well. It's a pretty arbitrary number.
Yes, Gavin, obviously they did it because they said, well, look, it's going to save lives, but lowering the speed limit to 35 across the nation would save lives as well, but we don't do that.
Yeah, making everyone in the country brush their teeth at gunpoint would probably make cavities plummet.
I always brush my teeth at gunpoint, Gavin.
The thing I don't get about these surveys is they talk about dropping out like it's a bad thing. Why is education so important? I mean, especially now that education means learning about Marx and learning that gender doesn't exist and learning that nothing exists and everything is a lie. What about learning a trade? I think the only people who should be educated are nerds who are genuinely interested in STEM. Everyone else, get the hell out of school, get a nice solid trade like welding. Let's have some fun again.
Make a lot more money welding
should be
than you do as a liberal arts TA.
Exactly.
Gavin does make a good point. Mike, remember in high school...
I like his anti-education stance.
Well, you know...
Education, schmeducation.
It's, you know, he may have a point, though. Do you remember when the kids who weren't great students, they went to the agricultural school or they went to the trade school,
Are you saying that to me because I look like I should be in a trade school?
I know it.
Did you get to keep your tools when you left?
Let's get back to the... I don't think there should...
What are the 4 H's? Husbandry, preparation?
You lost me on that. I'm not...
No, he's not a role. You're more of a, you know, a machine repair type, it seems to me.
I look like a union.
Than an agricultural guy.
I look like I should have a union card.
But do you think that there should be that 3-year period where you're an adult but you still can't drink?
No, I think you should be able to drink. I think there should be no age. I think it should be like in Europe. You should be able to eat. Drinking is fun. Is everybody forgetting that?
Yes.
It's a good time. And then the hangover teaches you to overcome adversity.
Right.
It's true, because you got to deal with it on your own. Lori.
I don't know. I think you're an idiot when you're 21, so when you're 18, you're even more of an idiot. And I say that collectively.
So raise the drinking age to 25. I mean, that's why it's arbitrary, because some people are able to metabolize alcohol when they're 18. Some people can't when they're 26.
That said, I do think that if you're in the military, I think you made a great point about then raise the minimum age to join the military.
How about this?
By the way, everyone's drinking at 15, just for the record.
Yes,
14, 15, you're projectile vomiting for the first 2 years. All it means is I can't go to clubs that are strict about ID.
That's it. Yeah. Gavin, they're drinking on the tracks. That's dangerous.
Yeah.
Much more dangerous.
Let them go into the bars and they'll be safe.
And that's why hundreds of college presidents have actually encouraged lawmakers, if not to lower the drinking age, then at least make it a state-by-state case, because people who are matriculating on college campuses are drinking as it is. But now they're breaking the law and they're going to run afoul of it and get in all sorts of trouble and cripple their adulthood before it really begins.
Don't drink and matriculate.
My fake ID business.
Look. Here's the real thing. If you ever drive out of New York City,
Never.
No.
These bars, they're in the middle of nowhere. Don't
knock
tell
the
me
suburbs.
everyone
Do not knock the
who
suburbs.
doesn't live in New York is drinking and driving.
Oh, my God. I grew up in Quebec in Canada. It's 18 there, and we all went, 18? Are you crazy? I'm not waiting another 4 years. So we would just walk into the forest for an hour and have a bush bash.
Yes.
And everyone would get blitzed around a bonfire.
That's
and
drinking?
then
No,
when
I
it was
think that's
legal
what
at
it's
18,
called
we
when
go,
you get a virgin
okay.
cheerleader pregnant.
Yeah, I was going to say, a bush bash?
Oh, there was no fornicating going on. We were way too wasted.
No, that was, I mean, in my high school, everyone went to the woods. There were fires
We
in
went
the
to
woods.
Powers Park, which was on the Willamette River in Portland, and everyone had little red cups, which was awful, and I condemn it, and I don't celebrate that at all.
Yeah, I
No, but you
refuse
remember
to
it.
drink
That
alcohol.
memory
at
I
is
did
big
classes.
because
for you.
I actually didn't drink in
Cannot do the
high
red
school,
solo
and my
cup.
mom knew it,
Gotta be
so
at a
I
class.
was the designated
That's my
driver. I was the
only
one holding my
particular.
friend's hair back, and they were all over the car.
How about this, Gavin? Lower the drinking age just for guys.
Yeah, well, women don't have the enzymes to break down
Talk about
alcohol.
arbitrary.
They are
I mean-
the Asians of gender, and they don't have what it takes to break down the booze.
See, I knew it. I knew I'd find a
That's a
kindred
fact.
spirit
That's a
in
fact.
Gavin.